Hey, what's up everybody? Ben here from blogwithben.com, and in this video I'll be showing you how to use Midjourney, a generative AI that helps you create unique, one-of-a-kind professional-grade images for your WordPress blog. And this step-by-step tutorial will take you through the entire process from start to finish, and by the end of the video, you'll know how to leverage the power of artificial intelligence to not only create stunning images for your site, but you'll be a much more efficient content creator, and will have a solid understanding of how to use Midjourney to create professional images for your WordPress blog or website. Now, really quick before we get started, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. Here you'll find professional step-by-step video tutorials and product reviews aimed to help you become the best digital creator that you could be. And if you find this video helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Doing so helps me keep this channel going and growing, and it also allows you to stay up to date with all the WordPress and tech tips and trends that are happening throughout the year. So as always, thank you so much for all your support. All right, with that being said, let me introduce you to Midjourney and show you why you should use it for your WordPress blog or website. Before we dive in, I'm going to briefly go over what Midjourney is and why you should use it if you're a WordPress blogger or site owner. So simply put, Midjourney is a cutting-edge generative artificial intelligence tool that transforms text prompts into unique images. And by harnessing the power of AI, Midjourney allows users to generate a wide array of visuals simply by describing them in words. And this innovative tool is perfect for bloggers, content creators, designers, and anyone in need of unique imagery for their projects. And with Midjourney, creating compelling, customized visuals is as easy as writing a sentence. Whether you need a specific image for a blog post or you want to visualize a complex concept, Midjourney is your go-to platform for AI-generated images. Now, your next question is probably, that's great, Ben, but how much does it cost? Well, it is a paid service starting at only $8 per month, and they have different subscription tiers that are very affordable, which we'll cover in just a bit. But the way I like to justify paying for this technology is that I weigh the benefits to see whether or not it's worth it. For example, in the past, if I wanted a unique, high-quality image for a project, whether it was a blog post or a video tutorial or a social campaign, I would use a stock photo site like Shutterstock to purchase images. But as you can see here, stock photos cost hundreds of dollars and you only get 25 images, compared to Midjourney, where you not only get to create the images, but you get hundreds, if not thousands, of high-quality images per month for a lot less money. And rather than spending hours scrolling through thousands of images on stock photo sites, you can create a specific image in less than 60 seconds with Midjourney. But as you'll see in a few moments, the advantages of Midjourney outweigh stock photos, and it'll more than likely be your preferred method of creating assets for your site. And finally, Midjourney is a great way to embrace the future of content creation, integrating AI technology into your workflow. And that's just the beginning. As you start to create with Midjourney, I can almost guarantee that you'll see the benefit of this technology and how it can enhance your efficiency and overall quality of the content you create. So with that being said, let's move on and get started with Midjourney. Okay, so in order to start creating images with Midjourney's AI, there are essentially two things you'll need to do. First, you'll need to create a Discord account, which is free. And then you'll need to connect to Midjourney and subscribe to one of their paid plans, which will run you about $8 per month, which comes out to about $100 per year depending on the subscription you purchase. Alright, so if you're brand new to all of this, Midjourney has created a really good help guide that walks you through the entire process that you can access from their homepage. And I'll link to this in the video description below, but you can view the help doc by clicking the Get Started button in the lower left corner of the homepage. And this will take you to the Midjourney documentation library, where they have some great help docs on getting started, using Discord, and a user guide that you can access here. Then if you click the Quick Start Guide button, this will take you to the Quick Start Guide that essentially breaks down every aspect of using Midjourney and Discord to create images with AI. And I use this quite a bit, and even though I'm going to walk you through each step in this video tutorial, I highly recommend bookmarking this page so that you could reference it as you're getting used to Midjourney and Discord. And then taking a closer look at this guide, there's a ton of helpful documentation that you can access in this menu on the left-hand side of the screen. And then whatever you have selected will display here on the right-hand side of the screen. And we currently have the Quick Start Guide selected, which again is a great reference if you get stuck or need some extra help with getting things rolling. Okay, now that you have a good understanding of how this works, let's move on and create your Discord account. So the first step in this process is to log into your Discord account. But if you don't have one yet, it's super easy to set up, plus it's free, and I'm going to walk you through the setup process in just a few moments. Now, if you're brand new to Discord, within the Midjourney Quick Start Guide, you can click on the Learn How to Create Your Account link, and it'll take you to another help doc specifically for setting up your Discord account. And again, if you're brand new to Discord, it's basically a chat room on steroids, but it can be described as a virtual gathering place, fostering communication, collaboration, and community interaction. It's also a place to use AI to create unique images, which is why I assume you're watching this video. So let's create your Discord account. Okay, so for this example, I'm using the Discord web client. They do have a Discord app that you can download on your desktop and mobile devices, but I use Midjourney for my WordPress blog and websites, so it's more convenient for me to access and create content through my web browser, which is what we'll be doing in this tutorial. So that's why we're using the web client. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. If you go to discord.com, which is what you're looking at right now, and I've linked to this in the video description below, but from here to get started, click the login button in the upper right corner of the screen. Then on the login page, click the register link located below the login form, and this will allow you to create a new Discord account. Again, pretty straightforward. Enter your email address, choose a unique username for your Discord account, create a secure password, and enter your date of birth. Then once that's filled out, click the Continue button. And then you may get some "Are you a human?" captchas pop up. Yes, we are, so I'm going to go through these steps really quick and verify that I'm a human. And there we go. Next, you'll need to verify your email address. So click the Verify by Email button, and Discord will send you a verification email to the email address that you provided during sign-up. Then head over to your inbox and look for a verification email from Discord. It'll look something like this. Then all you'll do is click the Verify Email button, and then you should see a successful notification letting you know that your email has been verified. Then click the Continue to Discord button, and this will take you to your Discord web client where you can create and join Discord servers, which we'll do in a few moments. So you can go ahead and close this pop-up, and then let me give you a quick tour of Discord. So by default, they'll start you out in the direct messages section because we haven't joined any servers yet, which is where you can communicate directly with other Discord users and bots. And to get here, simply click the Discord icon in the upper left corner of the screen. Then below that is where you can add and join Discord servers. And just think of servers as chat rooms. Now, this is a brand new account, so there aren't any servers here yet, but as you'll see in a few moments, this is where the servers will be listed, and it's where you'll add and access them. Then towards the right, since we're in the direct messages section, this is where the individuals and bots that you have direct messages with will be listed, and it's how you can communicate directly with them. But once you start joining Discord servers, this is where the various channels within a server will be listed. And I like to think of channels as individual chat rooms about specific topics. And as you'll see in a few moments, each channel has a specific purpose, and it's where you can congregate, discuss, collaborate, and create. Then on the right-hand side of the screen is where the content of the server or DMs will display. This includes the chats, images, members list, etc. It's blank right now, but you'll get a better idea of how it works in just a few moments. Then the last thing I want to show you is how to access your Discord profile settings. Towards the bottom left corner of the screen, you should see an icon with your Discord username. Click on that, and then from the pop-up, you can access your profile settings by clicking on that little pencil icon. Now, there's a lot to explore here, but when you're just starting out, I recommend at least updating your avatar, privacy and safety settings, and notifications. So when you have some extra time, check those 3 things out. Then to get back to Discord, click that Escape X icon in the upper right corner of the screen. Okay, now that you know your way around Discord, let's set it up and subscribe to Midjourney. The next step in this process is to connect your Discord account to Midjourney. Now, in order to use Midjourney, you'll need to subscribe to a Midjourney plan. And if we head back to the Quick Start Guide, you can see that the subscription tiers are pretty standard and offer various features and perks depending on the plan you purchase. Now, Midjourney does have a trial period that comes with 25 minutes of free fast GPU time. And this gets you about 25 images, but once you've used all of your minutes, you'll need to purchase a plan. So first things first, in order to connect your Discord account to Midjourney, head over to the Midjourney account homepage, and you can get there by clicking this link in the Quick Start Guide. I've also linked to it in the video description below. Then from here, click the Sign In button in the bottom right corner of the screen. Next, you'll need to authorize the connection between Discord and Midjourney, so go ahead and click the Authorize button. And this will take you to your Midjourney account, where, as I mentioned a little earlier, you do have a free trial of 25 minutes, but after you use that up, you'll need to purchase a plan in order to continue using Midjourney. And as you can see, Midjourney has 3 subscription tiers. Each plan includes access to the Midjourney member gallery, the official Discord, general commercial usage terms, and more. Additionally, each plan comes with various amounts of generations, which is basically the number of images you can produce. The basic plan limits you to 200 generations per month, but the standard and pro plans give you unlimited generations. They just cap the number of fast hours. And without getting into the weeds, Midjourney uses powerful graphics processing units, GPUs, to interpret and process each prompt. When you purchase a subscription to Midjourney, you're purchasing time or fast hours on those GPUs. Simply put, the basic plan gets you about 4 fast hours, which comes to about 200 images per month. The standard plan has 15 fast hours, which gets you about 900 images. And then the Pro plan has 30 fast hours, which equals to about 1,800 images per month. And compared to other stock photo companies out there that charges you $50 per month for just 10 images that you can't even use commercially, Midjourney is the much more cost-effective choice in my opinion. And I can almost guarantee that once you start using Midjourney, you'll be hooked. At least I was. Plus the time it saves me and the quality of images that I'm getting for my websites is worth it in my opinion. Now by default, the subscriptions display the yearly billing price, meaning this is what you'll pay per month, but you're charged for the entire year up front. However, Midjourney does offer month-to-month billing. Just click this button and you'll see the price per month goes up a bit, but you're not locked in for the entire year and you can pay as you go. Then once you've decided on your plan and billing cycle, click the subscribe button and you'll be taken to the checkout page where you'll enter your billing info. And I gotta say, from my experience, $96 per year for this tool is a bargain. So either way, once you've filled this out, click the subscribe button and you'll have instant access to Midjourney's member benefits. All right, moving on. Next, let's join the Midjourney server and start creating images with AI. Now the fun begins. Now we get to join the Midjourney server and work with AI to generate stunning images. Okay, so as you can see in the Quick Start Guide, it's a pretty simple process. You just have to manually add the server to your Discord via this link provided by Midjourney. So let's go ahead and highlight and copy this link. And I'm on a Mac, so I'm pressing Command-C on my keyboard to copy it. Then head back to your Discord. And all you'll do is in the left-hand side of the screen, click the plus icon, and this will allow you to add a new server. Next, a pop-up will appear, and we want to join a server, so go ahead and click that button. And then you'll get another pop-up where you'll paste that Midjourney invite link that we just copied a few moments ago in the field provided, like so. There we go. Then click the Join Server button. And welcome to the Midjourney Discord server. This is where all of the creative magic happens, and it really is an amazing community that you get to be a part of. And if you're brand new to all of this, it may seem somewhat confusing at first, but once you get the feel for where everything is and how things work, you'll be a pro in no time. So with that being said, let me give you a quick tour of what's what and how to start creating images within the Midjourney server. Alright, so as you know, this is the Midjourney Discord server, and you can toggle between servers by clicking on the icons within your server list located on the left-hand side of the screen. And this is the Midjourney server icon, so whenever you have this selected, you'll be in the Midjourney server. Next to that are the server channels, and these are like unique rooms that serve different purposes. but you can see that they're organized in subcategories like info, support, chat, image generation, etc. Then whichever channel you have selected will display on the right-hand side of the screen. We're currently in the Getting Started channel, which has some quick start tips and whatnot, but you may notice that you don't have the ability to chat in here. And this is due to permissions, and you'll see that some channels allow you to chat and create messages, and others don't. And speaking of that, let's go to a room that does allow messaging and image generation. So anytime you want to generate an image, you'll do so through any of these newbie or general channels. Again, they'll be listed towards the left-hand side of the screen within the list of channels. So let's visit the newbie 190 channel first. And this is a public channel, meaning you'll see other prompts and images generated by whoever is currently in this channel. And this is a great way to see what other people are creating, as well as gather ideas for your prompts. And speaking of prompts, anytime you want to create an image, you'll do so through the message field located at the bottom of the screen. And the way it works essentially is that you'll input a prompt that consists of a command, description text, and parameters. And we'll dive much deeper into prompts in just a bit, but let me show you a quick example of how this works. So anytime you want to create an image, you'll first need to use the Imagine command. This is basically how you'll interact with Midjourney on Discord. Commands are used to create images, change default settings, monitor user info, and perform other helpful tasks. But again, right now, we're going to use the Imagine command to create an image. So within the message field, to enter a command, you'll start with the / like so. Then follow that with your command. Again, we want to use the Imagine command, so type the word Imagine and press Enter on your keyboard. And then the prompt is ready for your descriptive text. Now, as I mentioned a little earlier, we're going to do a deep dive into prompts and parameters in just a bit, but for this example, I want to keep it simple to show how easy it is to create unique and beautiful images with just a few simple words. So, following the Imagine command, within the text box, you'll enter a short descriptive text phrase that the Midjourney bot will then interpret to produce an image. So, I'm going to ask it to create an image of a sunny-side-up egg cooking on a frying pan. Then click Enter on your keyboard to send the prompt through, and the Midjourney AI gets to work. Now, when you first send your prompt, it'll take a few seconds to start. As you can see, your prompt is waiting here within the channel to start. And then one thing about these public channels is that many other people are using them at the same time. And as of May 2023, there are 15 million people that have joined the Midjourney server. Now, that doesn't mean that they're all on here at the same time, but as you can see, other individuals are creating images in here, and it can get kind of hard to track your image as it's being created. Don't worry though, there is a way around it, but for now, we'll have to scroll a bit within the channel to find my particular image generation. And there it is. Now, you'll notice that it's kind of blurry, but the quality of the images are directly aligned with the percentage of completion listed here. You'll notice that the closer we get to 100%, the better quality of image the AI generates. Then once it reaches 100%, which usually only takes 60 seconds or so when using fast hours, the image will be posted at the front of the message thread. So within the public channels, you'll more than likely need to scroll to the bottom of the screen in order to see your fully generated images. And check that out, we now have our AI-generated images of sunny-side-up eggs cooking in a frying pan. Now, one really cool thing about Midjourney is that it gives you 4 variations of your prompt, and you can take a closer look at them by clicking on the image itself within the channel. And this enlarges the images, allowing you to take a closer look at what's been generated. How cool is that? These are unique, professional-looking images that can be used on a blog, website, social channel, etc. They can even be used for commercial purposes. The possibilities are pretty expansive, and this is just the beginning. You have even more flexibility when it comes to these images, as you'll see in a few moments when we introduce parameters. Now, as you start generating your own images, you'll notice that AI doesn't get it right every single time. There's some trial and error when it comes to how the images come out, but that's exciting to me and adds some creativity to the human portion of these prompts. It really is a collaborative effort between you and the AI, and when you start to get the feel for what works and what doesn't, you'll begin to create some really impressive images. Okay, so that's a quick example of how to use the Imagine command and text prompt to create an image in Midjourney. But as I mentioned a little earlier, these public channels can move pretty quick, and it can get somewhat annoying to have to constantly scroll through the channel to find your images. So that's why I love using the direct messaging feature with the Midjourney bot. And the way to do that is to click the Discord icon in the upper left corner of the screen. And this will take you to the direct messages, where now that you've joined the Midjourney server, you'll have the ability to DM the Midjourney bot. Just make sure you have it selected here, and you can work one-on-one with the Midjourney bot in your direct messages for a quieter experience. And I use this pretty much all of the time because it's not overrun with other images and I'm not constantly searching for my image generations. Now, one downside to this is that you're not getting to see what other people are creating, which can hinder your creativity, but you can always go back to the public channels anytime you want to see what others are making and get some ideas for your prompts. Okay, with that being said, let's take a closer look at prompts and learn how to get even more specific with the Midjourney AI. So as we previously went over a few moments ago, a prompt is a short text phrase that the Midjourney bot interprets to produce an image. It then breaks down the words and phrases within the prompt and uses that data to generate an image. Now, each prompt starts with a command, and each command starts with the /. And one quick tip on these commands is that if you just put the / in the message field, you'll get a list of all of the commands available for you to use within the Midjourney Discord server. And as you can see, there are quite a few to choose from, and each one has its own unique feature set. Now, we'll only be using a couple of commands in this video, but whenever you have some extra time, I recommend experimenting with these additional commands to gain a better understanding of what they do and how you could use them to create your images and manage your Midjourney account. But again, whenever you want to create an image, you'll always use the Imagine command. So I'll go ahead and select that one. Next, it's time to add your descriptive text to the prompt. Now, Midjourney states that prompts can be very simple. Single words or even emoji will produce an image. Very short prompts will rely heavily on Midjourney's default style, so a more descriptive prompt is better for a unique look. However, super long prompts aren't always better. Concentrate on the main concepts that you want to create and try to keep your prompts somewhat short. And from my experience, less is more. You'll want your prompts to be descriptive, but they don't need to be a paragraph long. I've found that one sentence outlining the vision I have in my head is enough to help the AI do its creative magic. Now, we're going to keep the food theme going, so let's add the same prompt as before, but we'll make a few variations of the images to show how you can get creative with your prompts. So just like the earlier example, this text prompt will be a sunny side up egg cooking in a frying pan. However, this time, I'm going to add some parameters. And parameters are options added to a prompt that change how an image generates. Parameters can change an image's aspect ratio, can switch between Midjourney model versions, change which upscaler is used, and lots more. Parameters are always added to the end of the prompt, and you can add multiple parameters to each prompt if you'd like. So for this example, I'm going to add the aspect ratio and version parameters. And the way you add a parameter is at the very end of your prompt, you'll type 2 dashes followed by the specific parameter. And my first parameter will be the aspect ratio of 16:9, which will change the shape of the image generated. By default, Midjourney uses the 1:1 ratio, which is like a square, but the 16:9 ratio will produce a rectangle, landscaped shaped photo. Then we'll also tell Midjourney to use the most up-to-date version of their algorithm, which is version 5.1. And this ensures that we're getting the highest quality image. And quickly looking at each parameter, as of May 2023, these parameters will always start with dash dash followed by some text, then a space followed by some numbers. So the aspect ratio parameter is dash dash followed by the letters AR, then a space, and then the numbers 16:9. Then the version parameter also starts with a dash dash followed by the letter V, then a space, and then the numbers 5.1. Okay, so I know I threw a lot at you right there, but trust me, the parameters were the most confusing part to me as well when I was just starting to learn Midjourney. But once you get familiar with them and learn what each one does, you'll start to see the flexibility and creativity they bring when creating images. Now, one thing that helped me understand how the commands and parameters worked was, surprise, surprise, the Quick Start Guide. And if you navigate to the user guide, you can learn more about the commands, prompts, and advanced prompts. And taking a quick look at the command list, you'll see that this gives you a detailed overview of each command and what they do. Same goes for the parameters. The parameter list is very helpful with learning what each one does as well and how to input them within Midjourney. Now I recommend starting with a few parameters and then experimenting with more as you get comfortable. Okay, back at the Midjourney server, now that we have our updated prompt with parameters, I'll click enter on the keyboard to send it to the Midjourney bot and the AI will get to work. And this is just like the public channel in the sense that you'll still need to wait for the job to start, which typically takes a few seconds to get going. And there it goes. Then the nice thing here is that you're the only one creating images in this DM, so you won't need to continuously scroll to find your image as it's generating. It'll be right here, and you can easily monitor the percentage of completion as the Midjourney AI is creating your images. And from my experience, it typically takes around 60 seconds for the bot to create brand new images using the fast hours. So we'll just sit tight for a few more seconds, and there we go. Then clicking on the image grid, you could take a closer look at the results. And you'll notice that the aspect ratio parameter has changed the shape of the images from a square to a rectangle. And then the version parameter is kind of hard to distinguish just by looking at the image, but by adding that to the prompt, we've ensured that we're using the most up-to-date version of Midjourney's algorithm when creating images. And I just want to pause really quick and acknowledge how amazing this is. Instead of spending a ton of time searching and browsing stock photos, or even paying a lot of money for professional photos, we can now use artificial intelligence and simply tell it what image we want, and in a few seconds, we have a one-of-a-kind, professional-looking image that we have total control over. And I personally feel that this technology is only going to improve and get even better over time. But the fact that we could type a few words and generate images like this is pretty amazing in my opinion. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox and let's keep going. All right, next, let's go over how to use the upscale and variation features as well as access and save these images so that you could use them on your website or blog. Okay, so every Midjourney image generation comes in this image grid comprised of 4 high-resolution images that are 1024 by 1024 pixels in size. And they're actually laid out in numerical order. The upper left is image number 1. Directly next to that is image number 2. The bottom left corner is image number 3. And then finally we have image number 4. And this is important if you want to access a specific image and either upscale it, which enlarges it, or if you want to create other variations of an image. And let me show you what I mean. So if we exit out of the large grid view, you'll see that below the image generation, we have some buttons. And these allow you to upscale each image, create a whole new set of variations, or create separate variations of a specific image within the grid. So let's put this into action. First, we have the upscale option, which can be achieved by clicking on any of these 4 buttons. Each number is assigned to a specific image, as we just went over a few moments ago, and U1 will upscale and enlarge the image in the upper left corner of the grid, and so on. And as you get used to the process, you'll quickly memorize which numbers go with which image. Next to that, we have the variations icon, and this will tell Midjourney to create a whole new set of images using the exact same prompt. So clicking this button will get you 4 new images of eggs. But keep in mind that each image you generate will use fast hours within your account, just FYI. Then below that, we have the individual variation buttons, and these allow you to create separate variations of each individual image. Again, the numbers 1 through 4 are assigned to a specific image within the grid, and clicking on the variation buttons will create 4 new variations of that specific image. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but let's walk through what each button does so you can get a better idea of how these work. Okay, so we have our image grid that's comprised of 4 images, but let's say I want to enlarge image number 2. All you do is simply click on the U2 button, and this will upscale and create a separate image of that specific image. Pretty cool. Then you're free to download this and use it as you see fit. And we'll go over that in a few moments, but again, how great are these images? If you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of Midjourney. Anyways, if you look below the newly upscaled image, you'll see that you can create variations of this image by clicking the variations button. the AI will create 4 new images pulled from this image. And again, feel free to play around with different variations, but remember, it does use your allotted fast hours within your account. And once you're out of hours for the month, you either have to buy additional hours or wait until the next month cycle starts and your hours are refilled. But either way, this is a cool feature. And speaking of variations, let me show you what it does exactly. So if we go back to our original image grid and click the V4 button, Midjourney will get to work creating new but similar images using image number 4 within the grid. And since it's generating new images, we'll have to wait for the job to finish, just like if we were entering a brand new prompt. But for the sake of time, I'm going to speed through this so you don't have to sit here and wait for it to finish. And there we go. We now have 4 new variations of image number 4 from our original prompt. And taking a closer look at these images, you can see that the AI is still using the original image, but there are subtle differences in each one. Then just for the sake of this example, let me show you what the variation icon does for the original image grid. So this time back at the original 4 images, if we click the single variation button, this will create a brand new set of images using the original prompt. Again, I'll fast forward through the processing to speed this up, but once Midjourney is done, you'll have a new variation of the original prompt, giving you even more options of images to choose from. Okay, next, let me show you how to save one of these images on your computer. So once you find an image that you like, simply click on it to enlarge it. Then right-click on your mouse on that image, and then from the menu, select Save Image As, and then you can rename the file and save it to wherever you save your images. And I'm just keeping this in my downloads file, but now you have your own copy of the AI-generated image that you could use on your website or blog, which I'll show you how to do in just a few moments. Next, I want to show you the range of Midjourney's creativity. So not only can you create lifelike professional images, but you can create illustrations, cartoons, and art in the style of a specific artist, and so much more. This is when you'll start to really see the power of Midjourney, because this is when you get to collaborate with the AI and design specific images that are unique and one of a kind. And let me show you what I mean. So as always, we'll want to start with the Imagine command. Then this prompt is going to be a happy Asian American woman cooking in a contemporary kitchen, but this time I'll add that it should be a cartoon illustration, flat and smooth, with an aspect ratio of 4:7 in version 5.1. Then I'll send it through Midjourney, and for the sake of time, I'm going to fast forward through the processing so that you don't have to wait. And voila, check that out. We now have a one-of-a-kind illustration derived from a few words in that prompt. And you'll notice that the aspect ratio parameter I used in the prompt created this portrait-sized image. And I know I keep saying this, but it just blows my mind how quickly and easily Midjourney does this. Remember, these images have never been seen before and look like you hired a professional illustrator to create them. And the fact that we can now just type a few words and produce quality images like this will never get old to me. It's amazing. Okay, let's keep creating. So this time, let's create some images for my WordPress food blog. And let's go even further and say that it's a Japanese cuisine niche with the brand color scheme that uses the colors orange and black. So I'm going to use Midjourney to create some images that revolve around that niche and colorway. And once again, we'll start with the Imagine command. And then this prompt is going to be top-down professional food photography of Japanese cuisine with 3-point lighting, black and orange colors, shot with a Sony a7R5 16K resolution with the parameters of version 5.1, and then the quality 2, which helps to boost the overall quality of the image. Now, a few quick insights about this prompt. For starters, you'll notice that I'm using some more descriptive words like the type of lighting, the colors, and the type of camera being used, and the 16K resolution. However, after I filmed this video, I did some more research and found that Midjourney doesn't really take into account the camera type or resolution within the prompts. But again, this is all brand new and I'm still experimenting and learning, and I highly recommend testing prompts to see if you get different results when you use various camera types, film, etc. Okay, so we have our prompt, so let's send that to Midjourney. And once again, I'll speed this up so that you don't have to wait. And there we go. Now, you'll notice that I'm using the default aspect ratio, which is 1:1, so we get this square image grid, But our 4 images still look beautiful, and you can see by just tweaking a few words in the prompt, like top-down view and the 3-point lighting, we get a much different result than the egg and the frying pan prompt. It's always super interesting to see how the AI interprets each individual prompt. And as you can see, the final result is pretty stunning. Here we have some additional images that I created using Midjourney, and the flexibility and creativity given to you via AI is really astounding. And this tutorial is just scratching the surface. You can use Midjourney for web design and UI UX mockups, as well as abstract art. The possibilities are endless, and I hope you take the time to learn how to leverage this tool to create media for your digital properties. And with that being said, let's move on and add some of these AI-generated images to a WordPress blog. So now that we've created one-of-a-kind professional images with the help of our new AI friend Midjourney, I want to show you how to add these assets to a WordPress blog or website and discover how you could turn an essentially blank canvas into a digital work of art. And in this portion of the tutorial, I'm acting as if I'm a new food blogger, and I'm creating a food blog with the Japanese cuisine niche with the color scheme of orange and black, and we're keeping with the same style as the images we created in Midjourney. And for this particular example, I'm using a block theme by StudioPress called the Genesis block theme. And if you're interested in it, I'll link to it in the video description below, but as you can see, the homepage is pretty bland, but we can change that with a few of the images that we created in Midjourney. So first things first, let's edit this page. So click Edit at the top of the toolbar. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to go step by step in this tutorial when adding images, but I'll briefly walk you through the process and show you how just a few images can change the overall look and feel of a WordPress site. Okay, so first I want to change this background image, and instead of this black placeholder, I'll add the image of the woman in the orange kitchen smiling. And you'll notice that she's positioned to the right of the image, which is what I was able to do through Midjourney. Pretty cool. And then check that out. The image not only looks great, but the focal point is positioned in a way that the subject is not overlapping the text, and it'll look great on a desktop and mobile device. Plus, keep in mind that this is a one-of-a-kind image. Nobody on earth has this exact image. This adds a uniqueness to your content that can drive engagement and time on your site. All important metrics when you're trying to grow an online presence. Okay, let's keep going and add another image, but this time we'll replace the placeholder image with one of our food images from Midjourney. And this image will use a different aspect ratio, so it'll be a square-shaped image, but the overall look and feel still meshes with our food blog brand, and I think the quality really is top shelf. Looks amazing. Okay, so that's going to do it for this page. Again, this is just a demo site, so I won't be updating the text. So let's go ahead and publish these changes and make them live. So click the update button. And then if we view the published page, you'll see that our Midjourney images are in place and they look really good. It's crazy to me how a few images can really enhance the digital experience. Plus, the quality of these AI-generated images look as if they were shot by a professional photographer. And I know I sound like a broken record, but you no longer need to use stock photos that either cost a lot of money or even use the free stock photos that are reused by thousands of blogs and websites on the internet. With Midjourney, you can create specific images unique to your particular brand and style, and as you get used to the process, you're only going to find more and more ways to use this tool in order to be more efficient and cost-effective. For example, another application of Midjourney can be for logos. As you can see, I played around with some prompts and got this logo that seemed to fit well with the overall style of my demo food blog. Now, logos can be tricky because Midjourney doesn't add text to the logos, at least not specific text. They'll add dummy placeholder text that doesn't make any sense, but you could still use Midjourney to create imagery for logos like this little steaming dish. Then what I did was I downloaded it to my computer and put it through Pixelmator, which is like Photoshop, and I was able to design a quick little logo with some text using that one-of-a-kind image, and in my opinion, it looks great. So let's add it to the site. All right, back at WordPress, I'll access the customization menu, and from here we'll update the site identity, which gives us the ability to add a logo. So I'll do that really quick and upload the logo from Midjourney. There it is. Then I'll need to crop it so that it displays correctly. And then let me remove the site title and publish our changes. And boom, we now have a new logo that is aligned with the site's colorway and brand. And if I'm being honest, it looks pretty professional even though it took me literally a few minutes to create. Midjourney has really helped me become a much more efficient digital creator, and I hope that you're starting to see the benefits of it as well. Okay, moving on. Next, let me show you how to create a blog post using images created by Midjourney. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to quickly cover how to use Midjourney for your blog post content. Now, as you're probably aware, Midjourney is strictly used for text-to-image generation, meaning it can only create images. So in this example, we're only going to use AI to create the images that will be used within the blog post. However, there are other AI tools out there like ChatGPT that can help you with the actual content creation for the text portion of your blog posts. Now, we're not going to cover it in this tutorial, but I will have a video out on that very soon. So be sure to subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel and you'll be the first to know when it's live. Alright, so Midjourney can still help you create unique and beautiful images for various aspects of your blog. For example, let's say I want to create a recipe blog post that outlines the steps to make champon. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but I think it's pronounced champon or champon. Anyways, we're going to use Midjourney to create assets for a blog post about a recipe. And instead of taking low-res photos with my phone with horrible lighting and quality, I can use Midjourney. And all I did here was experiment with prompts that were basically outlining each step of the recipe, which then produced these professional-looking images that I'll use in the recipe blog post. Now, I know that there may be instances where you'll want to use your own photos within your content, but I just want to show you some different ways to get creative while using Midjourney. And let me show you what I mean. So back at WordPress, let's create a new blog post. And then we'll give it a title, and this is going to be a recipe blog post about a 15-minute champon recipe. And then for the sake of time, I'm not going to make you sit through me writing out the entire blog post, but some best practices are to obviously use the various blocks to create your posts like paragraphs and image blocks. You'll also want to assign a category to each post as well as a featured image, which I'll create in Midjourney. And then finally, always update your SEO settings. And I have the Yoast SEO plugin installed, which I highly recommend for all WordPress bloggers. But these are just some quick best practice tips to keep in mind when creating blog content. And speaking of that, let's fast forward really quick to the finished product. And you can see that I've added some text to the post as well as my featured image that was created in Midjourney. Then if we scroll down, you'll see how I used the additional Midjourney images within the post content. So what I did here was I basically used each step in the recipe as a prompt in Midjourney, and then the AI gave me the following images. Now, they aren't perfect, but these are just the first pass at my recipe prompts. I think they still look pretty good, and if I had some extra time, I could probably get them to match the recipe step by step. Plus, this is just another great way to get creative and diversify your content. All right, moving on. Next, let's go over some Midjourney tips and best practices. Now that you have a solid understanding of how Midjourney works, let's go over some tips as well as some best practices for using this AI in your workflow. And one thing I want to remind you is that this technology is moving at an incredible rate. So even though I created this video in May of 2023, things may be vastly different depending on when you're viewing this video. For example, I just saw an announcement in Midjourney Discord that they're working on a standalone website and mobile app. Now, I have no idea if they will discontinue the Discord server or whether you'll be able to use the server as well as the website and app. And I assume they'll keep all of them, but my point is that the AI space is evolving very quickly, so it never hurts to just learn and go with the flow. So with that being said, let's go over some tips and best practices for using Midjourney and the Discord server. All right, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to configure your Midjourney settings within the Discord server. This gives you even more flexibility on not only your account, but the presets and output of the AI. And let me show you what I mean. So anytime you want to review your server settings, you could do so within the settings command. And this is similar to when you create a prompt. You'll start with a command, but use the word settings. And then this provides toggle buttons for common options like model version, style value, quality value, and upscaler version. Settings also have toggles for the stealth and public commands. Again, we're not going to do a deep dive on all of these settings in the video, but I do recommend checking out the quick start guide, specifically the settings and presets section located within the command section. And this will give you a much more in-depth look at what all these settings mean and do. And it can be a lot to take in if you're just starting out, so I recommend browsing this section of the help guide to get acquainted with your personal settings. And just a heads up, only you can see this message, but once you're done, you can remove it from the message thread by clicking the dismiss link. Okay, next, anytime you want to go back to the public channels within the server, simply click on the Midjourney icon located in your server list on the left-hand side of the screen. And that will take you back to your most recent public channel. And then if you want to create images, you'll do so in any of the newbie or general channels. But remember, the public channels also mean that you're creating images with everyone else in the channel. So depending on the amount of people using the server, it can get crowded. And that's why I personally like the direct message bot. But these public channels do inspire creativity due to the fact that you can see the prompts and images that other people are making. Another channel I like is the prompt FAQ. And you can find it under the community forums channel. It's pretty new, but it offers a ton of valuable info. And you can filter through the different FAQs offered here. But again, this is where I come quite a bit to learn how to improve my prompts. And all you'll do is click on one of the FAQs, like how to create blank backgrounds, and it'll open another window on the right-hand side of the screen where you'll see the original poster's question followed by the replies. And I assume that these were saved by the Discord mods because the replies actually answered the question. But like I said, I've found this FAQ community forum to be really insightful and helpful. Okay, another quick tip is that anytime you want to get back to the direct messages with the Midjourney bot, just click the Discord icon in the upper left corner of the screen, and then select the Midjourney bot. And this allows you to have a less distracting experience, and you won't have to constantly monitor and scroll to find your images within the channel. Next, let's go over the Midjourney account. So if you recall, when we created our Discord account, we authorized the connection to Midjourney. And this created our Midjourney account where we were able to purchase a Midjourney subscription. And if we head over to the Midjourney homepage and sign into our account, and authorize the connection again, you'll be taken to your account home, where all of the images that you create in the Discord server will be stored for you to review and download. This is like your own personal media library of all the images you create with the Midjourney AI. You can also filter between all of the images, grids, or just upscales here. Then another really cool thing you could do is hover your mouse over any of the images within the library, and you'll see the prompt used. Then if you click on it, you'll be taken to the exact image where you could see the full prompt and parameters used to create the image. This is a great way to catalog your work and reference your prompts to learn and experiment with different techniques. Another thing I love about this library is that if you scroll down, Midjourney also shares similar images that other users have generated. Then you can click on each individual image to get a better look and see the prompt and parameters used as well. And I love this because it expands your creativity and possibilities when you have access to other people's prompts. And I'm glad that Midjourney does this. Some may think of it as cheating, but it's like open source code. Once it's out there in the public domain and people can build off of it and create some really beautiful images. Another quick tip is that if you recall, you can manage your Midjourney subscription here by clicking on the Manage sub-tab within the sidebar menu. And one thing I want to point out is that this is where you can monitor how many fast hours you've used for the month and keep track of how many you have left. And as you can see, I'm subscribed to the basic plan and I get a little over 3 hours per month, which again is like 180 images. But if you run out, you can purchase more fast hours here. And the great thing about these fast hours is that they roll over from month to month. So I like to purchase a few hours for backup just in case I run out during one of my months. But also keep in mind that your plan's monthly fast hours refill every month. Okay, the next tip I want to go over is how to use the describe command. So if we head back to the Discord server, the describe command is relatively new, but it gives you the ability to upload an image and generate 4 possible prompts based on that image. And as you can see here, it basically allows you to explore new vocabulary and aesthetic movements. And let me show you how it works. So first things first, you'll enter the describe command like any other command. Then you'll be presented with this little file upload widget. You can either drag and drop your file here or click on it and upload a file from your computer. So let me do that really quick. Then clicking enter on your keyboard will send the image to the Midjourney bot, where it's thinking, and in a few seconds it will generate 4 text prompts that you could use to create different variations of the original image. And taking a closer look at each prompt, you could see that they vary in style, descriptive words, lighting, etc. This is yet another way to get super creative with your prompts, and it's a great way to learn and experiment with different styles. And to see what each one does, simply click on the number associated with the prompt and you'll get a pop-up where you can edit it if you'd like, but I'm just going to keep it as is, and click the submit button. And the prompt is submitted to Midjourney, and just like all of our other prompts, we'll have to wait around 60 seconds for it to process, but again, for the sake of time, I'll speed through this really quick. And check that out. Midjourney has used the prompt generated by the describe command, and we get 4 new and similar images that were derived from our original image. Then clicking on the remaining numbers will generate the other prompts, and you can see how they look as well, but remember, doing so will use your fast hours. Just keep that in mind. And again, we'll fast forward through the processing to save some time, and voila. The describe command gives you even more creative freedom when generating one-of-a-kind images that can be used on your blog, website, social media, etc. The possibilities are vast, and the describe command is yet another way to diversify your content. I love it. Okay, finally, just a quick refresher on where to find helpful info. If we head back to the quick start guide, which I've linked to in the video description below, I highly recommend that you read up on the user guide, and you can access it here. Specifically these 5 sections. This will give you a ton of great insight into the commands, parameters, prompts, and much more. And we only scratched the surface in this video, and there are so many more features you can use to create beautiful imagery and art. And I reference this user guide almost daily, and when you're brand new to this, it's extremely helpful when trying to figure out your workflow and process for generating images with Midjourney AI. So keep this guide handy and check it out whenever you have some extra time. Additionally, there are a lot of helpful articles and blog posts online that you could use to hone your Midjourney skills. And the site medium.com has some great content on everything from getting started with Midjourney to more advanced prompts and tutorials. I highly recommend browsing their articles. I also recommend joining Midjourney's official Facebook group. This is a great community of Midjourney users where people share their work and collaborate on ideas, solutions, roadblocks, etc. It's a great place for inspiration, and you can find a lot of helpful info here as well. And I'll link to all of these resources in the video description below, but swing by the Facebook group whenever you have the chance. And that's how you use Midjourney to create stunning images for your WordPress blog. Simple, right? With a little practice, you'll be creating attention-grabbing visuals that make your posts stand out from the crowd in no time. And I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Remember, engaging images are key to capturing your audience's attention and enhancing the overall readability of your blog. And if you have any questions or want to see more content like this, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I'm always happy to help out. And if you enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and share it with others who you think may benefit from it. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, now that you have your WordPress site up and running, check out these 2 videos on email marketing and blog monetization. They'll show you everything you need to know step by step. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.